Okay, this episode is for, well, not technically an episode, more of a video update. But this time we're working on the IS, the daily. Taking a minor break. You know, I've been taking a long break from the pickup. A few things need to be done to it for the engine to fit a little more deeper into the bay, so I gotta cut them out and chop them down. But anyways, what am I doing to the IS? Well, a whole bunch of things. Some improvements. And replacing, such as maintenance, and some upgrades. This car originally came with leather interior, but the seats were completely trashed. Had holes in it, they were tearing up. Some parts were hardening up. I mean, you see, this thing came with seat covers that are tearing apart. So I said, well, screw that. Went and got me some cotton suede mixed chairs. Back ones are back there. They need to be washed thoroughly, though. There's no telling what happened on these seats. So these are going to be treated, cleansed, sanitized, oiled, anything to get rid of the bacteria. This was done. A few things. Quick tip: if you want your engine to sound a little more throaty, a little louder on the 2Js, get rid of the intake muffler. It's a little plastic thing that sits under the stock muffler and the stock intake, and that's what quiets and dampens down the throat noise. What I strongly suggest, with my experience, is to just replace the pipe, the midsection, with a rather expensive $45, is it a 90, 45 degree angle intake from Auto Cylinder, Pep Boys, or whoever. You know the ones I'm talking about. Spectra. That's what they're called. And keep the stock intake box with the scoop. Another addition, this might seems a little bit ghetto, but it's actually effective. You drill a hole into the stock intake box, and you put a ventilation pipe. You can get one of these from Home Depot, or if you're really rather into that big spending, go get one from Gretty. They sell one. It's about 2 inches in diameter. It's flexible. It'll be able to squeeze past into from the grill. Now, it's supposed to line up where this front of the grill is, where air is ramming into the pipe, and it feeds colder air into the intake. I know that's the job for this, but this proves to be rather restrictive, even though it's a huge gaping hole that goes into a bigger hole into the intake. I had to do some research. I think it was on collegetuning.com. This is not efficient to get rid of the zero atmospheric pressure inside the intake box, meaning that there is still some suffocation going on inside here for the engine to breathe. So they're suggesting that you cut a pipe, a hole into the intake. Try to always get cold air into it. Don't bother. No offense to any other companies, but I wouldn't bother getting those intake pipes that cost like $200. And you put in a large steel pipe on here, and then a cone filter, and you're just sucking in hot air from the engine bay, where this is actually still keeping it. And yes, it does make a difference. Cutting this piping to the intake makes a huge difference. And I was wondering why I was lacking a little power than usual, because this sucker had fell off and it's not even getting any ventilation, any force-fed air from the grill. So I'm going to have to fix that up to it using some zip ties. Hopefully. So what I've done is I replaced the tensioner, the belt tensioner, as the old one was pretty much done. This thing would chatter like crazy under heavy acceleration. It was annoying. It's been doing that ever since I bought the car. It's not really entertaining because along with that engine noise, that beautiful sound, you hear a chattering noise along with it, so that had to be replaced. So that's pretty much it with the intake. So another one I'm going under is I bought some stuff from Figs Engineering, not sponsored. I went ahead and put some bushings on there for the control arms, both sides, of course. And I went and bought Figs solid bushing. Pinion. It's a little dirty. I need to pressure wash this thing. And I do know I have a power steering leak, but it doesn't leave a stain on the driveway. In my fluid's always low. Another thing I did was some maintenance work on, well, not technically maintenance, but yeah, maintenance work on the transmission. There was a mod that you do to increase shifting pressure in the accumulators and to make a quicker shift. But I didn't do that because trying to do that under the vehicle proved very extremely difficult, because once you drop the valve terrain, them suckers pop right out, and you trying to line those suckers back in there, yeah, good luck with that. I decided to just go ahead and increase the pressure on the valve. You'll find it online once you look up Elite IS. The guy provides good information. So, the cat on the secondary cat went out, so I gut it. So that's pretty much a straight pipe for now. That's pretty much it for the front end of the car. Now, for the Holy Grail, I managed to get my hands on an LSD. A genuine LSD for the IS. And it's not an auto LSD, it's a manual LSD. It has a much slower final drive, which I prefer, because this is a daily driver, so I need to have my RPMs. I like to have my RPMs really low for fuel efficiency wise. Bonus with it, it came with Figs bushings. Not the bottom ones, but I went ahead and got the new ones, the bottom ones ordered. As you can see, it's an M85. The differential that I wanted. I managed to get that sucker for $100 bucks. So we're finishing up the front end. I'm gonna go ahead and replace the rear diff on this guy. And in this video, I'll show you, as you can see, the differential bushings originally on the car. We're done. Not the back ones though, they're still good, but I'm going to probably replace those in the future because that requires removing the subframe and torching out the old bushings and stuff like that. But the front ones, they call them the preliminary or pinion bushings, something like that. Those are the guys that are causing the clunking when you're reversing and going forward, or when the car shifts pretty aggressively. That's what causes the clunk and the jerkiness of on the ISs. When those goes out, the diff bounces. The front end of the diff, where the drive shaft connects, bounces up and down, and that's what causes the clunkiness. So I'm gonna go ahead and replace that. Just the added side effects of having bad bushings. As you can see, my inner tire wear is pretty bad. It's even worse on this one. And mind you, I take this car up in the triple digits from time to time. So it's a good thing I check my car every couple weeks just to look at it. And man, this was an accident waiting to happen. So I'm gonna go ahead and get some used tires because, well, to be honest, I'm on quite a tight budget, especially trying to finish this guy up. So that's the update. This is what's happening. Both of my cars are currently down, the daily and the race truck, and that's what I'm trying to do. I need this guy. This is the primary, this is the focus right now, and this will be back. I know everyone's asking, this is a very slow progress, or asking what's the progress on it and everything, but this is a very slow progress project. I'm in quite of a tight spot financially, so things are going to be at a slowdown. I do work on it time for time, everything, but there's really nothing much of a big update. So stuff is starting to gather. I had to take care of the daily driver first, and so I'm comfortable with it. Everything's taken care of. I don't be without a vehicle. Can't own multiple vehicles and all of them are be down. So that's the update. Oh shit.